So on September 1st, 2024, it is anticipated that the Russian government will finally announce the list of countries from where citizens can apply for the immigrant visa on the basis of moral and ideological reasons. Recently, I sat down with two Russian YouTubers to talk about this new decree and what it means for you if you are interested in immigrating to Russia.
No, no, that's what you have to do. We're rolling.
Three, two, one.
Here we go.
I am here with two esteemed colleagues in the YouTube sphere in Russia. This is Igor
Igor in Russia.
and Joseph.
Expat American Joseph Stephen Rose on YouTube recently.
So recently, President Putin signed a decree that has basically shaken up the West and has many people really interested in Russia and finding out more about it, what's going on, how do people live here?
Now,
Especially,
when you say shaking up the West, what do you mean? You mean just that Westerners that are interested in maybe moving to Russia are excited, or is it more than that?
well, I think it's more than that because I think it's opened up a conversation.
Okay.
This is now, I think, mainstream in a lot of sectors in America. There is a large section of population in the conservative, traditional family value community.
Sphere,
Yeah.
Right.
That has really been looking to move somewhere else because the traditional family values have been under attack in the United States. And so now that Russia is in the news about opening up this pathway to citizenship, essentially, and by granting temporary residency, many people are talking about it. Many people are asking questions about it. They're reaching out to me, they're reaching out to other expats, and they want to know what's going on. So I'm interested to know from both of you how you, as foreigners, what do you think about this decree and what impact do you think it will have?
Well, I think it's really cool, and I just imagined it was news in Russia, but I'm happy to hear that it's news everywhere, as you say, because I didn't know that if Westerners really thought that much about Russia, except that Russia's bad. So I don't know. What about you? You live in another country, so.
Yeah, I've heard also about this topic, about this news from the West Russian sphere, YouTube sphere, etc. And I think local media in Scandinavia just did like a little bit of it, and that's it, and didn't actually. I think they intentionally didn't make a big number out of it. But usually the tone is a bit, at least disrespectful or just laughing off and brushing off, that type of thing. And same thing with this one. It was a little kind of neutral, kind of fast, and that's it. So. I don't know, do they fear that some people who have strong traditional family value thinking might actually think about this locally, or did they just were not interested or not feeling threatened by it? I don't know which one was it, but it was just one of news.
Right.
So what have you been hearing from your friends, from your viewers on your channel? What are you hearing? Is there any excitement? Is there an uneasy feeling, or do they think that this is just a political prank from President Putin, or is it actually serious? What kind of feedback are you receiving?
Well, I mean, my channel is Expat American. It's like a little over 60,000 subscribers. And one of the things we do is we're giving our email in the show, and we're saying you can contact us if you think you might want to move here, right? So we've already been getting, customers, people that want our services to maybe just consult or help them even get an apartment and move. So we've always had a good trickle of people that are interested. But since this announcement happened, And my wife, who's in charge of that, because I do the videos and she helps people immigrate, she's now getting flooded with people, And I mean, she tries to get back to the emails within a couple of days, but I mean, she just doesn't know how she's going to keep up with it all. So she's going to, try to perhaps even hire some people. And I think it is fantastic. I know that some people in the comments might not think so, Russians especially, because I think Russians are divided on this issue. Should Russia be doing this or not? I think it's wonderful because I think that Russia statistically has to have more people. They got to get the birth rate up, and if there were culturally friendly Westerners that want to come to Russia, that would also be very good news for Russia. And it doesn't mean that we're going to have little Britain and little America villages all over the place. These people are going to come here. Their kids are going to have to learn Russian in school. Their kids are going to be almost Russian. Their grandkids will be completely Russian. So I think it's a win for Russia. And I think it's also a win, if Russians are carrying people, and I believe that they are, for people around the world that are in countries that are, quite frankly, crazy right now. And they're looking for, well, they're not even looking because I think they don't even know. I think you're in your Western country and you're thinking the world is just terrible right now if you're for traditional family values. But if and when they find out that there is a good, strong place where you can live with traditional family values, they're all going to want to come here. So Russia can get more people, and people that are like-minded with Russia can have a safe home.
But since majority of the people who actually are interested in this, even theoretically, in moving to Russia with this new decree, still there's a huge obstruction. No, what's the word? Obstructive.
An obstruction.
A roadblock, an
a
obstruction.
roadblock. That's it is Russia, the Russia that we all should fear, etc. So I guess it's still it becomes a lot more smaller group that actually will be doing this, or actually those I believe who are feeling about this even more strongly. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a battle of information from now on. I think everything is at least slightly political as well during these times. Since it's not a political use. What word you used? A joke? No, prank. Not a prank, but it's a political reasons behind it, because Russia does need Western foreigners moving in. That's for sure. But how many will do it? It's a battle of information, because you guys and I show Russia to different audiences from the realistic perspective, right? So that counters all the other BS that is like trying to diminish the fact. So I guess which information reaches them most believably, this target group.
So it's not just the message, but it's the credibility of the message.
I think so too. And plus, of course, you said they become Russians, and that, well, being a Russian right now is, in general, of course, not among everybody, but it is like a scary thing, So they have to overcome this obstacle,
right,
to actually do the first step, so that future generations will be living here possibly.
Right,
it's a huge step for them, maybe.
Absolutely, and I want to echo as well that when the news broke, which was Monday, August 19th, 2024, I will forever remember that day, because maybe an hour before the news broke about the decree, I received notification that my temporary residency had been approved and issued, and that I could go to Immigration Services and pick it up.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
That's great.
So I'll make the announcement here. I am no longer an expat in Russia. I am now an immigrant to Russia. Thank you so much.
I won't make that announcement since my channel name's Expat America.
Yeah. I got you.
Kind of avoid that detail as that happens.
But but in the hours after that announcement, oh my gosh, I'm talking about direct messages. I'm talking about questions on Telegram, any way I could get. I was just flooded with Westerners wanting to know, how does this happen? What do I need to do? How do I make it happen?
And you couldn't give the answer right.
And of course, you want to help as many people as you can, because Russia's a really great place. But I spent 8 hours for the next 2 days answering questions. And it got to the point to where I was tired. I couldn't do it. I didn't have a life. And so I created a service where I can take consultations and spend time, quality time, focused on you, because I realized that many of the people who were asking for help were only simply curious.
Yeah.
They wanted just to be curious. And I want to spend my time with those who genuinely want to move and want to know.
Right.
So I created a service, and there's a website that I created. It is www.worryfreerussia.com. And you'll find the links down below. It's also on the screen. And your first consultation is free. 15 minutes over Zoom, over Telegram, over WhatsApp, and we will answer people's questions. So I'm not going to plug that anymore. But I know also that your wife, Svetlana, also has this service. And what is that website address?
That is her email for now. She's setting up her website. She's not as hip and on it as you are. So right now people can just email her at svetarose2013@gmail.com. So I'm sure it'll be in the description or on the screen. So.
Absolutely. So feel free to reach out to either one of us, and we will try to get some answers for you. So what are some of the questions that people are asking?
I'm glad you asked that, Eddie, because I was just making some notes here, because I want this to be complete and full. And I get in the comments from Russians 3 concerns often. And one is, and I want to know what you guys think if you get this in the comments, if you have an answer for it. One is, not now. We don't need to do this now because we're too busy with the special military operation. Why would we do this now? Let's wait and do it later. We've got enough going on. 2 is, we don't actually need more people. So what? Our population will decline. Russia's big, sure. Why do we need more people? And 3, what if bad guys come here? What if bad guys take advantage of this situation? So I think I've answered all 3, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think those comments are a bit weird. The second one about we don't need more people, well, that's against all economy. I'm not an economist, but I know that much that all countries need more people, especially the Western countries, or like Russia and the Western countries who the pyramid. There's a lot more older people than young people, especially in Russia. There's quite a few people moved out or are somewhere in the world. So definitely that's not a fact. And then number 3, what was number 3? It was
bad guys taking advantage of the situation.
I'm pretty sure that, and I actually know that the process is still in place, that they're gonna check out the people. It's not automatic. Nothing's automatic. It's it may seem like it, but the process is there. They're gonna make sure that you're eligible and the correct person to get the temporary. It's not for everybody. So yeah. But I do. I'm a bit different. Channel is a bit different. I help, most of my people are maybe more like travelers, which is a path maybe for a bigger commitment in the future. Because like you guys said, first you must maybe visit, or was it with you today earlier, that first you should visit and get to know and feel more. Where you're going.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I look at this. I recommend that if you're thinking of wanting to move to Russia, that you do not move to Russia, that you visit Russia first, because it's an extreme, not only a commitment, but it is a culture shock and a culture change in the extreme way. For instance, the language is going to be a very big barrier. It's not impossible, but it is something that you're going to have to commit to.
Right.
And the Russian society is actually a very welcoming society, that it may seem a little cool and a little cold and kind of standoffish, but once you get to know people, they are so warm, so loving, and they embrace you completely. And I think these are in line with Western traditional family values. And I think that most Westerners who have those same traditional values will find a home here, a very comfortable home. But you must be willing to adapt. So that's why I recommend that they come visit first. Get the lay of the land, understand how the system works, and get a glimpse of what their life would be like here in Russia.
And I say as long as you can, you know. So I recommend a month.
As long as you can, absolutely.
Come, yeah.
And yeah, so I'm excited now. As far as the detractors that, and you're receiving those comments, I'm receiving those comments as well. My question is, are they legitimate accounts or bots? So I kind of take
I'm sure
that.
it's a little bit of both.
I think it's a little bit
so
of both.
for the sincere
Yeah.
Russians, what would you tell them?
Well, for the sincere Russians, first of all, I'm a guest in this country that has accepted me as an immigrant, and I am willing to integrate myself into their society. So I would say, give me time. I'm getting there. These folks will also get there as well. But for those who say that this is not the right time, I think it's the perfect time. The perfect time, because if you take a step back and look at what is happening in the world, not just here in Russia, not just in the West, but in the world, and you can notice that there is a tectonic shift in from a unipolar world to a multipolar world. And when you see this happening, you see, when I think of the multipolar world, I think of words like cooperation, understanding, friendliness, openness, communication. And I think this is where most of the world lives, and this is where most of the world wants to live. They want to live in that kind of world. And I'm willing to bet that there are many, many foreigners in Western countries, and especially in America, who want that as well.
Right.
Now, there is this is a political year all over the world, and especially in America. Big election coming up. We don't know what's going to happen. We know what we think would happen because there's a lot of communication going on and a lot of political maneuvering in the background.
Right.
I'm thinking that this is the perfect time because if there is a change in Washington come November, which would be in January, that this would be a good time for there to be a plan in place in Russia to accept Westerners. So I think it's the perfect time. Russia needs the people. They need the birth rate to go up. And I believe that they're going to be very selective and vet these immigrants. So I don't think there's much to worry about.
Right. Right. Yeah, I completely agree. I think now is the perfect time because of what's happening. It's very clear to Westerners that appreciate traditional family values right now, oh my gosh, the world is upside down and maybe I need to do something. So if Russia needs those people, now's the time to give them that chance, because now's when they're really going to be thinking about it. As far as bad guys coming, I mean, why? It's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be money. It's going to be hard. It's going to take a long time and a lot of planning to do this if you even get approved. And so if you are not for traditional family values, why would you do that? You can just stay where you're at. You already have what you want in the country you're at now. And as far as more people, I mean, like Igor said, I mean, statistically, Russia does need more people, unless I got something wrong. And I guess what people argue is why just let the population shrink and just kind of be sparsely populated. But I think there comes a point where you cannot protect yourself as a country.
This goes against everything that we know how to grow how country grows, the economy evolves.
Right.
Just let it shrink it can't,
Right.
because that's the worst case scenario for a country. In order to grow, you need more people, you need more young people, and etc. And and for example, in Europe, that's a problem has been partially tried to be solved by immigrants and refugees and these type of things, which of course some do better, some do worse, and it's not guaranteed that it helps. But I guess that's a long play as well, over generations, to get people into the culture and the traditions, maybe, etc.
Right.
Or, by the way, officially, they're not trying to change your traditions. They let you be whoever you are. Maybe that's also partially the problem. Cultural.
Like a culture clash.
Yeah, it definitely. Just look at the big countries in Europe, and but sometimes there's a lot of success stories as well.
Cool.
Absolutely. And just before we wrap this up, the point that I would want to make, which you brought up about Europe, is the difference in Europe and also in America is that migration that happens, the migration that's happening right now on the southern border is what I call forced migration. These are countries that are pushing people out. Mm-hmm. And that is not what is happening here in Russia. Instead, we have Russia saying, come in. Mm-hmm. So there's an invitation. So would you rather be pushed out to another country, or would you rather be invited? Which feels better to you? Please let us know what you think. Down in the comments, write what you think about President Putin's decree, and let us know, are you thinking about moving to Russia, and would you be willing to visit Russia first? Thank you to my two esteemed colleagues and my special guests for your time. And any parting words?
Yeah, if you liked this and you want to see more of us, click the link to go over to my channel now, where the three of us will be here and we'll be covering a different topic, an actual practical thing that you might want to know if you're thinking about living in Russia. We're going to cover a subject of something that you'd want to know. Does it work or not? Does Russia have this? And you'll find out in the video on my channel right now.
Sounds delicious.
And if you want to do a level lower, not if you're interested to visit, that's a little bit different approach. You can check my video. Also, of course, after this video where we all three are here at your house. But also check out the guide videos, how to travel to Russia as a foreigner traveler. I give tips and guides how to make your stay in Russia the great one. Money issues and exchange and that type of stuff.
Absolutely. You've got three
Specialists.
foreigners? Let's not. Yeah, we'll just say three specialists who have moved to Russia, and we're ready to help. So drop us a line, drop us a question, and let us know. Until later, пока.